Today on Smackey's Garage, we're going to be replacing the rear shocks on this 2015 Audi A4. The rear shocks on this car are shot, and it definitely feels like it. One of the ways you can tell if you need to do yours or yours needs some sort of service is if you decide to look in this hole here, you can see the metal shock rod exposed. So let's go ahead, let's take this apart and do this project. Okay, so before I go ahead and take everything apart, really easy way to tell if your shocks are shot or need some service. One is the metal piece under here is exposed. So if that dust cover is gone, that either needs to be replaced because it's going to wear down faster, or you need to replace the entire shock. Luckily, you can buy parts separately. I'll show you where I got all my parts. I got them all from FCP Euro. They sell a kit, but you can buy the parts individually if you want to. The other way to tell if your shocks are shot is if you bounce up and down in the rear of the car, you could hear some squeaking from that area. And the last way is when you take it for a ride and you're going down the road and your car doesn't stop bouncing up and down after it's hit a rut or a bump, that means your shocks are shot. So the shocks themselves really work in conjunction with a spring to dampen the system so that it doesn't bounce continuously as you go down the road. So let's go ahead and take this wheel off and get everything apart. Okay, so 17mm socket to take these off now that this is up in the air, and then we're going to put a jack stand underneath it. Okay, so with this off, you can see the shock here, and you can see that your bump stop up here, just pressed in, and then you have the cover here, which is just, this is completely disintegrated. So over time, debris is going to get in here, and when debris gets in here, it's going to cause an issue and essentially wear the shock out. And this shock is pretty corroded on the outside too. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and get a jack stand under this, and then we're going to go ahead and replace this shock, but really shouldn't be that bad of a project. Okay, so you have two clips. They're going to be here and here. These need to come off. Flat-bladed screwdriver, trim tool, whatever you have. You just have to peel them off. Then after you get both of those off, you should just be able to pull this back, and then there's a staple up here on the top that you have to just rip apart because you're going to have to separate these two pieces. And then with that apart and ripped, I can now see the two bolts in here that I need to get to. And just to reiterate one more time, jack stand in place because you're going to have to be taking this out from inside the car and under the car. So there's going to be two bolts in here that need to come off. These are going to be 16mm, I believe. So I'm going to use an impact and take them out. But they are going to be a little bit on the dusty side and old side. But this isn't a spring. It's not going to come shooting out when you undo this. I actually did replace a spring on this car recently, and I did not do a video on it. I actually started doing the video on it, but it was way too sketchy, so I decided not to upload it. Probably easier with a deep impact socket rather than this one that I'm using. All right, those are out. All right, now the last one's going to be the 21mm down here that I'm going to go ahead and take out. There's going to be a washer in between this and this. So with that, should be all set to take this shock out. You can take this out from above or below. It's really your preference. Now for my car, this isn't high enough to get the shock out without compressing it. So what I actually did is I ended up compressing it as I pulled it out the top. You can just do it by hand. You don't need any special tools. So that is out. Let's go ahead and build the new one now. All right, so we got the old shock out, and so we have the new one, we have the old one. Here is the new one. I think one of the things you see here is, it is rebounding. It is slowly opening up. Here is the old one, and you can see after I shut it, it stays shut. So with this, we're going to go ahead and do a simple replacement on it, and I'll show you how to build up the other one. The only thing that we really need to keep from this is this top cap here. So I'm going to go ahead and pry this off with a flat-bladed screwdriver, and then we'll use it for this. Okay, so buying this kit from FCP Euro, it essentially got me everything that I needed except for the tools to do this. So it came with the shock, it came with the upper mount, it came with the bump stop, and then it also came with the bellows. Also, I won't forget, it did come with all new bolts to put this together too. So pretty much everything that you need. If you break something, it's not as big of a deal because everything here is pretty much new. So First thing we need to do is we actually need to get this inside of here. But yeah, this is a, there we go. So just like that, I actually didn't use any grease, but grease would help. That is in place. Okay, so with this piece together, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this and this in. So all these are just press fits. So, okay, that one is in now, almost all the way. Still a little bit left to go. Okay, now with that in, we go ahead, put this together, and the screw or the bolt at the top of this is coming off here. We can go ahead and get this nut on. Now, unfortunately for us, Audi has decided to use something that needs to get torqued down here, so you do need some special tools for this. I do have this toolkit here, which I will link in the description if you want to get it to make it work, but essentially you need to hold the inside piece here as you turn that nut. This set here does have all the tools to do it. So I believe it's a 17 for the nut, yeah. And then you have to use one of these sockets. I have to look at which one it is. Maybe it's a 7.1. One of these sockets to actually hold this so that it doesn't spin. Is not the 7.1. It is the 5x8. So with this, the way that this tool set works is this goes on here, you can spin in the nut, and then this goes on the inside and you can hold the inside of this here. And then with that, you can go ahead and tighten or torque this down to the right specification, and that's pretty much it. Really simple, but unfortunate you need special tools. Now I'll go ahead, I'll link these tools in the description below. This is the 17mm nut with pass-through. This is the 5x8 tool. I'll link the kit as a full kit, but I'll also see if I can find the individual parts, and you can buy either one that you want. So the way that you set this up is pretty simple. So nut driver here, I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna pass this through. I'm gonna tighten this, and I need to get to 26 foot-pounds. When you get to the point where it stops, it is pretty much a really hard stop. So this isn't gonna be free at all at the end, and everything's gonna be in place, ready to go in the car. So let's go ahead and let's drop this in, let's get everything torqued correctly, and then take the car out for a drive, see how it does. And don't forget to put the cover back on before you put it in the car. All right, so we're gonna put the shock in first, and it's really simple to put in. So I have the new bolts that were provided for me in this kit. We're gonna go in from the top. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna compress this so that it gets into a place where I can actually fit it in. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly slide this in. You might actually be able to come in through here with this all the way down and just sneak this up and through. Let's see. Yeah. So since I can sneak that up and through, I can go ahead and push this all the way up. And it won't require me to have the car jacked up as high. Okay, now with that in, I'm gonna go ahead and get these two bolts in up top here. Bolts are up and in here. These two need to be torqued down to 50 Newton meters plus an additional 45 degrees on top of it, and then they are in place. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the pins on. We got that, we're gonna torque down here. Then we're gonna get the wheel on and we should be all set. Now this bottom bolt under here, you know, you really don't need to use anything to get this up in place. So bolt washer goes in between the shock and here. And then this doesn't take a lot of effort to move. So you can just move this up and down with your hand to get it into place. Now this should be torqued to 150 Newton meters with an additional 180 degrees on it. The correct way to do it is to jack this up or to get your car in the right ride height and then torque this down. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to put some jack pressure here, jack this up, and then torque this down. All right, so the car is in the air, and we can already see it looks, you can see the part is in there exactly where it should be. So the bellows is there, the bump stop is there, everything is holding up well. Now I just need to get the car on the ground and then take it out and we should be good. So I guess that goes to show how much these cars actually corrode in the New England environments. You know, this is something very common that I've seen across this car as I've been working on it. The amount of corrosion that's on it is kind of incredible because most of the parts are aluminum or cast aluminum. And you can see it here. A lot of the bolts get stuck, they break when you take it apart. Luckily nothing broke when we're doing this project, but you know, pretty straightforward project. I do still have to do the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, but it's the same process. I expect a significant improvement in drive quality with this now, so really happy about this. Really simple project. All parts that I bought are going to be linked in the description below, along with the tools. So if you could do me a favor, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time on Smackey's Garage.